Hi, it's Sarah Elder from the Briefing Note and Madam Premier, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different because you might have noticed that I haven't been recording very much, and that's because the world has simply overwhelmed me. It's just been too much. That being said, after today's mini podcast, there's going to be one coming out tomorrow with a woman named Amy Robichaux who is hoping to clinch the Liberal Party nomination in the Vancouver riding of Vancouver Quadra. So you have that to look forward to. But in the meantime, today I'm going to try something different. I'm going to read to you a blog post that I actually published today after I saw that photo, the selfie that Justin Trudeau shared of himself in Canadian Tire. And it evoked some thoughts in me. So I'm going to read it to you now. And the title of my blog post is, and I will agree or concede that it is a bit grabby or clickbaity, but this is what I came up with. Trudeau's visit to Canadian Tire makes me sad. Ardent Canadian political junkies have probably seen now former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's selfie at Canadian Tire in what is the first public documentation of his post-political life. And while it's racking up the likes and comments, it's evoking deeper thoughts from me. First, I'm going to be honest that it makes me sad. That's right, after carefully dissecting the contents of the photo, I realized that this is the cart of a Canadian bachelor stalking his first post married life dwelling with the most basic of kitchen utensils at Canadian Tire in a Canadian tuxedo. Yes, it's a whole lot of everything Canadian, which meets the moment in the midst of a trade war with our former BFF, aka America, and is smart on Trudeau's part because it would have been really bad optics if he had rolled up to an American owned Walmart. Up until Friday morning, Justin Trudeau was the most powerful person in Canada. He had a staff at work, a staff at his taxpayer funded home, a driver, a security detail, a lot of staff. And now, unless he's forking out his own money for someone to help him, he has zero staff, zero taxpayer funded home, zero security detail. It's just Justin Trudeau with no one to put through the now zero calls coming through from world leaders, do his laundry, wash his dishes, manage his iCalendar invites, or restock the toilet paper. While some will react with glee at the idea of Trudeau now having to do everything himself, all of this makes me feel all the feelings for him. Because in the same way that no one tells you that you're going to miss your lifelong best buddies and the noise of summer camp, Trudeau is now silently wandering the ladle aisle of Canadian Tire and taking his own selfies with zero filters. The quietness of coming off a life filled with noise, urgency, high stakes everything, living your life constantly surrounded by people who are there to take care of your every need, documents just magically appear in your hands, the sweet life, where everyone takes your call right away, to comparing which colander will fit enough pasta for himself and maybe one or more of his kids if they are staying with him. Can you imagine the cashier looking up and realizing that they were ringing through Justin Trudeau's whisk? Or even worse, Justin Trudeau walking up to the cashier, anticipating recognition from the cashier, and them not recognizing him? Brutal. One day you're having to be protected from a group of angry protesters holding sweary signs calling for your political downfall, and the next, not even the cashier at Canadian Tire recognizes you. And while Justin Trudeau is certainly not the first to leave or be kind of forced out of politics and find themselves facing a quiet post-political life, it warrants a discussion or at least the consideration of how to support politicians in their newfound freedom. And while some of them will, of course, say they can just find their own way after making a very, very healthy salary of approximately $406,200 compared to the average Canadian, the lack of mental health supports for people transitioning to private life is pretty non-existent. Sure, Trudeau has friends and his kids to lean on, but having worked in politics myself and yet not having been the prime minister, the feeling of being so very not important and so ordinary outside of politics warrants at least a few sessions with a therapist to talk about the huge change in life situation. Trudeau came into political life as a 43-year-old married father of three young children to being 53 and single with three almost adult kids. And he's no longer the Prime Minister of Canada. That's a lot of life changes for anyone, no matter who they are. So while we all heart Trudeau's Canadian Tire selfie, I hope I'm not alone in hoping that his transition to private life and probably only having one phone and no one to answer it is gentle and that he is able to navigate this time gently and kindly to himself. He is, after all, just a guy in Canadian Tire in a Canadian tuxedo.